And ask yourself, when am I being stopped from moving forward with the client? Why is it always at this moment in my presentation or whatever I'm saying that I can't get the client to buy in to say, yeah, you're the right person for the job? We are now into the second quarter. Yeah, second quarter, full blown second quarter. So our theme for the second quarter is foot on the gas pedal. Foot on the gas pedal for majority of the markets here. We are in the spring market, and the spring market is key. We want to make sure that we are going right into it, working hard, pushing ourselves, right? So today we're going to be talking about handling objections. That's going to be our topic for today. Why? Because it's a skill set. It's a skill set that we all, as realtors, need to have. We need to have the ability to handle objections in a manner that we can pace and lead a conversation, right? That's the idea. It's building on our skill set. So as people start to come on, let's start off with some wins. I'm a fan of wins. So tell me, who's got a win for the week? Share with the group. What win did you guys have? Who's got a win? Any win. I'll take some personal ones too. What do we got? Go ahead, Angie.
Sell my own listing.
So you're showing your own
No,
list.
I sold my own listing.
Oh, so you double ended it?
I blend.
Nice, nice. That's always a good when you're representing both the buyer and the seller. Good job. That's awesome. Double ender. What else? Who else has got a win? Who else has a win? All right. How about this? Who else has a challenge? Who's got a challenge? An issue, something in their business that they need help with. You guys all figured it out? It's all good. All right, so then let's jump into it. So if you have no challenges and no wins, let's talk about handling objections. So what is an objection? At what point do you know, or for definition purposes, what is a objection? What is it? Now we're playing the silent game. Is that what we're doing? All
So
right.
Use.
for like it could be about regards of commission or something that is in the way of getting a contract signed.
Okay. I like that as part of it, right? An objection really is just simply a question in the mind of the buyer or the seller. And the objection would normally come when it comes down to making a decision. Like buyers and sellers will have questions throughout the whole process. But when it comes to them making a decision to moving forward with you, that is an objection. And really, it's just simply a question. They're going to have a question. There's something that they just don't understand or need clarity on before they move forward with you. That's really what an objection is. And we have to understand that these questions, these objections, when is it the right time to handle them? And when is it the right time to just kind of just sort of skew by it without really answering or doing the handler, right? And when we look at handling an objection, the key here is not to handle over the phone. Ideally, you want to be face to face with the client. You want to be able to move forward with them. So it really comes down to this decision must be made or must this handling the objection should be done when it's at the point of making a decision to moving forward, right? So we don't want to be doing this over the phone. It's just sidestepping over the phone, trying to get by it. So let's jump into it. When you look at handling objection, what is the technique that I've shared with you all on how to handle any objection? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what the technique is? I had you guys write it down. Go ahead, Mark.
I remember you had mentioned to me to get to them in person.
Mhm.
I remember you said that because I came up with a few objections I had, and you were like, "Well, how did you deal with it?" And you said, "Well, you should go to them directly to them."
Mhm. All right. So I had you guys write these words. You guys know them. Hey, write them down. When it comes to handling an objection, follow this technique. It's repeat, comma, approve, comma, ask for permission. So let's explain this technique. Whenever they have an objection, any objection at all, what you want to do is get on their side. The idea is not to do this. Okay, it's not a debate, it's not a back and forth, it's not against you, right? It doesn't matter what the objection is. That, the most common one that everyone's gonna say is, would you cut the commission? So and so said to do it for 3.5. Can you do it for 3.5? Like that would be an objection, right? It is stopping them from moving forward with you. So instead of saying, no, what do you mean? What do you mean they're going to give you 3.5? Are they going to do what they're supposed to do to get the home sold? Like, we're not going to do this with them. Does this make sense? So how do we align them and get them on your side? Right? And the easiest and fastest way to build rapport with someone is to agree with them. So what we want to do is repeat what they say, right? Just letting them know that we completely hear what they're saying. We understand. And then give them that approval. Now, are you approving the idea of dropping the commission down to 3.5? No, of course not, right? But we are approving the fact that we understand where they're coming from. We understand, Jenna, hey, I completely respect what you're saying, right? You want to save as much money as possible, and I get that. And you think that cutting the commission is going to get you more money in your pocket. Not necessarily. But we understand the premise, okay, Ruth? It's not so much that we're going to agree with this. That's not what the approval part is. It's understanding where they're coming from. They want to net as much money as possible. Then the next part is asking for permission. We're asking for permission to allow us to handle this objection. And there's really a couple things you would say here. It's either going to be, may I share something with you? Or it's going to be, may I ask you a question? Like, really, that's it. I'm just opening the door, getting them aligned with me to say, yes, let's go. Tell me more. So once I get that permission from them, now I can go into my clever handler. Now, let me ask all of you. Do you guys write down those handlers? Do you have a list of objections that you typically get and how to handle them? Do you guys have that? No? Would you guys like it? Do you guys want them? All right. All right. I'm going to show you where you're going to go. So that email that I send you every morning, every morning, once a week on Sundays, my Coach Danny email, what I've put in here has been the resources here at the bottom. So if you go into my resources, you're going to get my Coach Danny's drive, access to it. And in here, you will see the scripts and dialogues. And when you go into the scripts and dialogues, underneath the Tom Ferry scripts, we have here the handlers. And it's right there. Top 38 objection handlers. Okay. So these are the handlers part, not necessarily the strategy part, the handler part. So there's all kinds of different objections that you would get. Hey, if I list my home with you and buy the next home with you, will you cut the commission? And then we have here the handler part. Again, not the setup, just the handler part. And there, like I said, there's 38 different ones that you can go in here. Now, here's what I know. All of you will get different objections based upon your skill set, based upon how you present. I will get different objections than what Ruth would get, or what Angie would get, what Simon would get. You're all going to get different objections. It's all based upon how you present to the consumer and what you're saying. So figure that out. What is it that you're constantly getting? What are the questions that you're getting? What's the objections you're getting that's not moving you forward? Does that make sense? So, you know what? Samuel's going to get a different objection than what Mark's going to get. So then just know what it is. And then practice that. Practice the repeating, approving, asking for permission. And then what's that clever handler that you're going to use? Like Lorraine's going to get different objection than what Mark's going to get. I'll tell you right now. It's just based upon your skill set and what you say, how you present something, right? And ask yourself, when am I being stopped from moving forward with the client? Why is it always at this moment in my presentation or whatever I'm saying that I can't get the client to buy in to say, yeah, you're the right person for the job, right? So repeat, approve, build a bridge is helping you address, the objection ahead of time. So now I'm going to ask you, how do you handle the objections? What is your style? This is a mastermind, folks. Let's mastermind.
You definitely want to listen first and don't start with the word no. Like
Oh,
they
like
say
that.
something and then you say no, the way it's gonna, you want to, like you're saying, you want to affirm, you want to ask questions to control the conversation, and then give them scenarios to make them understand things like, if I'm going to fight for my money, I'm going to fight for yours, and why don't we make those money making decisions when we get the offers in front of you? you know that's how I handle them.
Love it. Love it. So love the idea. Don't say no right off the bat, right? So basically, don't jump into the handler right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like don't do that. And I agree with you. Like do not jump right into the handler part, even though you got the best handler in the world, right, Christine? I know how to handle this one, but
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't do that, folks. Align yourself first with the client. Extremely important, right? I love that. What about, go ahead, Mark. You have something else to say, or Lorraine?
Yeah,
Oh,
I had an interesting one this weekend. I got a call from Realtor for someone to look at one of my properties.
Mhm.
So I went out with them, and they their objection was they love the property. They just didn't know, like, is it right for me? Should I do this? And they just seem to be going back and forth and kind of talking themselves out of it. So I did, without remembering to repeat, approve, and ask for permission, I kind of just like repeated what they were saying. And then I just said, well, what's the pain point with your property? Like, why do you want to move? And then when they started talking it, I grabbed the husband and I just went for a walk. I said, why don't we go for a walk outside? Let's get out of the house. Let's just think differently. And he started talking about their lawn's too big to cut. They're getting older. And he started saying all this stuff. And then I could see this smile in his face. So I was like, look, man, you could hop on your riding lawnmower. You could do, and I just started painting like a lifestyle picture for him. And I could see he was smiling the whole time. And he started talking himself into buying the house. So I don't know if it's like right on line with your thing, but it was just creating like a different lifestyle to handle their objections.
Love that. And what you're saying there, and I appreciate you sharing this with everyone, is you're changing the narrative in the conversation by asking questions, right? And folks, this whole thing with the repeat, approve, and ask for permission is extremely powerful. There are times where you don't actually need that clever handler. You guys have to understand this. There will be times that you're not sure if this is really an objection, like the ones that stopping them from making this decision to sign with you, as an example. Like it may just be, hey, I just need to put it out there nice and loud. Hey, let me repeat what they're saying, right? So what I hear you saying, Peter, is this, right? And then give them that proof. Like, I understand where you're coming from. That's what they want, that reassurance. Okay, so my realtor's understanding me, right? Right? That reassurance. And then you're asking the question, right? So tell me more. Why do you want to move forward with this?
I know,
So
Danny.
getting them to open up. Yeah, go ahead, Simon.
I was going to add in that it's funny because we did this through my separation. We had some counseling. And the other thing that I actually do this with clients, and it works really well, is ask them how they feel about it. So you say to them, so what I hear that you're saying is, and then you repeat what they've said. You put it exactly in their words, never paraphrase, because it says that you're interpreting something, but you actually repeat what they say as close as you can to what they've said. Never paraphrase, because then it can actually change the context. And then you say, and how does that actually make you feel? And they're like, oh, well, I feel nervous. I feel scared. I feel whatever. And that's really what you're trying to overcome, is their objection of their emotion. Because if you can take their emotion and say, if that's making you feel worried, is there anything I can do to take that fear away from you signing this listing agreement right now?
Love it. Love it. Isolating what the actual cause is. Okay, so I want to get back to, what? Very good point you bring up, Simon. What if someone says to you, you're at the signing table, whether it's a buyer or seller, and they say to you, hey, Jenna, we want to think about it. Now, is that really the objection? Is that really the objection? When they say, I want to think about it, is that an objection?
No,
No. Okay. Tell us why.
because there's always something underneath that. There's something stopping them from moving forward if they have either another question or a doubt about something, a concern about something. That's what I would
Correct.
say. And you got to dig deeper from there.
You have to dig deeper, folks. When they ever said, we want to think about it, that's not an objection. There was something said, something done, something that they just got turned off or was not answered. So, yeah, you really do need to think about it because you're not getting it. If they just say to you, hey, Peter, yeah, thank you for this presentation. Love it. We're going to think about it. No, there's no thinking. Like, what is it? Like, we have to isolate this. What is it that you need to think about? And since two minds are better than one, let's think out loud. Tell me more, Peter. What is it that you want to think about? And really, we want to get this out of them and isolate it. Because, it's when you're dealing with a seller, for example, are we dealing with the commission? Are we dealing with the price? Are we dealing with the length of time of the agreement? What is it that's the problem here? What's the issue that we have to look at and then isolate it and now handle that objection, whatever it may be, right? So a great point. Love it, love it. All right, let's keep going. What role, and this is important, what role does your energy and enthusiasm play when it comes to handling an objection? Okay, Angie, go ahead. You're still you're muted though, Angie.
I just wanted to say something more about what you just talked about, not
Okay.
this. Um, I think it's very important that you do a buyer's or seller's consultation, mostly with buyers, because you want to get to the root of why they're buying. Sometimes people just want to go out and look at houses. But if you really understand the reason they're buying, and you can do that in a consultation by asking the right questions, and it's not the 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car colonial, it's the reason that they're buying, their motivation to buy. And I had done that with several clients. Some of them even brought to tears that they didn't want to live anymore where they're living. They really wanted something of their own. They wanted more for their family. And once you get that personal with them, when it comes time to make a decision, it's a lot easier because you can reflect back on what they had told you in the consultation.
Love it. Now, and I agree. So that technique that you're referencing is really powerful when it comes to closes. So if you're closing the client for something and you're using their motivation within the close. So be like, hey, Ruth, all we need to know to get you to New York City by July so you can start that new job is simply sign the paperwork so we can get you there in time, right? Like you're using their motivation within the close. And I love that. I think that that's absolutely a must when you're getting them to specifically closing, which in essence is what we're referring to when we're coming to the repeat, approve, and ask for permission. In this case, we're outlining what it is that we're going to do, and this is what's going to happen. Isn't that what you want? Love it. Go ahead, Mark. You got a question?
Yeah, I'll circle back to the thing on energy you were talking about.
Yes.
So I'm personally like super high energy and extremely positive person. So what was happening for me, and I've learned this from you in a few of the role play sessions now, and I've been working really, really hard on it, is to mirror. And that was advice you've given me a few times now. You're like, I had the opportunity to role play with one other gentleman in the class here, and you said, "Hey, Mark, fantastic fantastic role play, but you didn't mirror his energy. So one thing that I've been putting forward is trying to mirror my audience and just bring myself to match them. And I'm noticing that my conversation ratio is like 95% higher. I'm not tuning people out because you also said this to me before. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm going to attract 25% of my audience because they'll be able to align with me. So I'm trying to get that number, more to 75% if I can. And mirroring is starting to work very well.
Agreed. So like you're not ever going to get 100% of the audience. There's always going to be 25% that just doesn't care what you say. And then there's 25% that doesn't matter what you say. They buy in. They all in with you. It's that 50% in the middle that we're trying to get. Now, going back to thank you for sharing that with the energy and enthusiasm. Folks, it is vitally important that you understand where the client's energy is and enthusiasm. When they're giving you an objective, it's more subdued. They're not excited that they're giving you an objection. In fact, they're a little bit hesitant about questioning you. So if you come across like, hey, and they're like, whoa, like, I mean, I just told you to cut your commission. Like, be careful with that. Even though you have the best handler in the world, you go hard at them because your energy level just went up here to 10 and they're like at a 2. Remember, early on, mirror them. So you would just basically, hey, repeat what they're saying, give them that approval, ask for permission. Now start ramping up your energy level, start ramping it up as you go through. That's how we pace and lead. You meet where the client's energy is. You get them that rapport building with you. Okay, my energy, your energy, we're vibing. We in the same energy level. Now let me lead you. Now let me get you excited on why you should list with us. And that is NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. That's how you start to pace and lead conversations. Doesn't matter where the client's at. You can take them to a different level, but you need to match them. You need to build that rapport. Right? So be very careful with energy, even though you get so excited that you have the handler. Don't do that. Take it easy. All right, what's the next question here? How does your mindset, such as expecting a positive result, affect your ability to handle objections with confidence? What does mindset play into this?
Everything.
Okay, tell us more. Why is it everything?
If you go in there with an attitude that you don't think it's going to work out, then it never works out. That's just life. That's that's the basis of it. If you go in there with an anticipation that things are going to be good, your brain figures out ways to answer the questions that you ask it. If you ask stupid questions, you'll get stupid answers and you'll do stupid things. If you ask your brain smart questions, you will get smart answers from your brain. It'll give you what you want and you'll find the right answers. You go in saying, how am I going to get this list? I need to know how I'm going to, so I know I'm going to get it, but how am I going to do it? Brain, I need you to figure this out. Let's go in there and let's do this. You'll do it. It's just your brain will figure it out.
Agreed. Agreed. I love that. So what you expect is what you get, right? Correct?
100%.
What you expect what you get. Now, here's where you have to be careful. Buying into the client on their objection. It's either, do they sell you on the objection or do you sell them on the handler? Like, when are they going to say to you, hey, with this changes with NAR, I don't have to pay the cooperating broker a commission anymore. Are you guys buying into that? Right? You have to be careful because some agents like, yeah, you're right. We don't have to pay them anymore. So I'm only going to charge you my 2% commission and that's it. But then are you really servicing the client? Are you helping them to the max? You got to be careful buying in to the objection. So yeah, your mindset is 100%. The most important part of it. Are you a good realtor? Say no. Say no, because you guys are great realtors, not good realtors. You're great realtors. Do you believe in your service? Do you believe that you're helping people? Yeah. So give great service. You have to believe in what you're doing. Because if you don't, then how are you going to convince somebody? Right? So yeah, be very careful. Your mindset is everything. All right. So how do you avoid over talking when addressing an objection? You guys ever over talk before? It's almost like you're overselling it. It's like, we're going to do this and this and this. And all of a sudden, your whole marketing plan gets doubled up and tripled up, right? So, how do you avoid over talking?
Watching
You
their
can
body
really
language.
read their body language.
All right, so I got two things hitting me at once. So, Simon, give me a second. Who was that?
Sorry, it's Christine. You can really read their body language.
Okay, so by reading body language, I'm not good at reading body language. I mean,
Well, if he's sitting
unless you
there
have the
rolling his
complete,
eyes,
like, no.
that's what I'm saying. Like if he's rolling his eyes, or you can tell, like, because I have a tendency to talk too quickly, so I really make a note of slowing it down. So if I am talking too quickly, I can actually tell that I
Okay,
am. So that's a part of it.
okay,
Be
so talking
concise, get to
quickly,
the point.
looking at eyesight, looking at stuff. So, Simon, let me go to you first, and then I'll go to you, Mark. What do you think? How
I,
do
I
you
was
avoid over
I was
talking?
watching body language and asking questions. You got to ask them, like, does that solve their problem? Is that what they were looking for? Why not ask them?
And I think that's what I was looking for. I'm looking for that answer, folks. The person asking the questions is the one in charge of the conversation. You guys realize this, right? If you're the one doing all the talking and they're the ones asking you questions, who's in charge of the conversation? They are. So understand that. Like, the only way to stop over talking is by simply asking more questions. Just simply asking more questions.
Can I just say as well that you have to be careful how you ask that question though. Like if you're asking the question, as we were talking before with mindset, if you're asking the question with the intention of getting to the end of a listing, that's not going to solve the problem. You have to ask the question that you're trying to benefit the client and give them what they need. Like,
Mhm.
hey, do you understand?
Mhm.
Like that's not going to help. But hey, guys, do you understand where I'm coming from? What I'm trying to explain? Does that answer your question?
Okay,
That's
so what
trying
I
to
hear
help.
you saying is taking it to the next level. It's not just using a tie down. Like, do you understand? Does this make sense? Like, those are tie downs. Those are not. I mean, those are yes no questions. You're correct. I'm looking for more open ended questions, allowing the consumer to open up to you. So you're right. If you're using tie down questions, which are those yes no questions, where we're looking for, does this make sense? Isn't this what you were looking for? Those are just simple yes no questions. Correct. If you're going to have the client open up to you, you need to ask open-ended questions where a yes or a no does not apply. All right, go ahead, Mark. You got something?
Yeah, I remember recently, Lorraine's been an agent for over 10 years here, and she got an inquiry from someone that wants to list their property. And this lady, her email was like really based on marketing. How are you going to market my property? What are you going to do? And it just mentioned marketing like 4 times. And Lorraine had said to me, she goes, "Man, explaining marketing isn't my strong suit." So we role played it a bunch of times, and using your advice, Danny, Lorraine went into it, and when she sat down, it was just a lot of questions. So what are you expecting about with marketing? Where are you expecting us to take marketing? What are you looking for in marketing? And then she was able to really hone in without just going like blah 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 blah. This is what we do, right? And really focus on her questions and make the client like happy.
I love that. See, and that's a perfect example of what Simon was saying, is asking those questions. So getting more specific with the client. Brilliant. Love it, folks. I hope this was helpful. Please unmute yourselves. Please unmute yourself. It's the best time. You guys ready? What day is it today?
Money
Money
making
making
day.
day.
It's a money making day. So, what objections do you have to write down and get better at handling? You guys know which ones they are. You guys are awesome. I'll talk to all of you next week. Thanks so much.